Evening. Thank you for hanging out with me today. So we're gonna do some streaming and some Code Wars, and I definitely want to talk a little bit about what I'm learning right now, which is server models. So I'm learning about client server models, and definitely want to talk a little bit about that as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on these fundamentals. So we're gonna go ahead and work on transportation on vacation. So after a hard quarter in the office, you decide to get some rest on vacation. So you will book a flight for you and your girlfriend and try to leave all that mess behind you. So you're gonna need a rental car in order for you to get around in your vacation. So the manager of the car rental makes you some good offers. So every day you rent the car, it costs $40. If you rent the car for 7 or more days, you get $50 off your total. Alternatively, if you rent the car for 3 or more days, you get your total. Alternatively, if you rent the car for 3 or more days, you get $20 off your total. Okay, so you're gonna write a code that gives you a total amount. So yeah, so we're gonna receive an integer, a positive whole number integer, and then we're gonna return total amount paid for renting the cars. For renting the car per day. So, as I mentioned before, good education to think about, is it a whole number, positive numbers? We're working with positive numbers. And I'm pretty sure, okay, so in Code Wars, it doesn't tell you the constraint, whether it's positive, whole numbers, or anything like that, but we're gonna make an assumption here. So we're gonna go ahead and make an assumption that it's positive whole numbers. All right, so what we're gonna do next, is we're gonna go ahead. So some examples, let me comment that out. Some examples that I do think about is that, okay, so if I book a car for one day, since a car is only $40 for a day, and I'm only booking it for a day, it's gonna be $40. So we know for sure that it's $40 for one day. But if we book, so $40 for one day, total for 3 days, you get minus 20 off of total. And then likewise for 7 days, you get total for 7 days equals minus 50 off of total. So if we book it for 14 days, since 14 is greater than 7, we'll do 14 times 40. 14 times 40. Let me cheat and use a calculator. But 14 times 40, 4 times 40, $560. So total is $560. So $560. But then since we booked it more than 7 days, we can go ahead and subtract $50 from it. That should give us a $510 total. Okay, so therefore we're gonna say that we're gonna initialize a total set to 0. We're gonna iterate up to, do we need to iterate up to? Because if you iterate up to, I think we could just multiply. We can just say that total is equal to 40 days times the day, and then we're gonna check if day is greater than 3 but greater or equal to 3 but less than 7, then we can subtract 20. Else, if d is greater than 7, we can greater than or equal to 7, then we can subtract 50 from the total. Alright, so total equals 0. We're going to say that total is equal to 0 right now. So we're initializing this variable. But total is equal to d times 40. Oops, just kidding about that. I know that, okay, so we're going to assume that it's a whole number right now. But one thing to take into consideration is that if it wasn't a whole number and we had like 0.34, 0.28 cents, or if we had cents involved, then we would have to do a non-JavaScript to fixed Python. Equivalent to fig, which formats anything, number point. So if we had a decimals, we can format it to 2 decimals with this, but format, we can do an f string of the number slice. But yeah, it seems like we will not have to worry about that situation here, so that is good. Okay, so we're gonna do total time. So we're gonna say the total is equal to that much. But now if d is less than or if d is greater than 2 and d is less than or equal to 3, if saying that d is less than 7, we're gonna say total is equal to minus equal 20. Elif d is less than 7 and d is, well, we could say elif d is greater than 7, then we can do total minus equal 50. Else return total. This is what we'll do here. None should equal 140. Print total here because this should have worked. Print total. Total is equal to 0. D times 40. Indentation error. You were expecting. Oops, that's it. I need to. There we go. Okay, so D is 120. D is 40. So this is doing what I anticipated to be doing. Then this should elif, I think. Okay, so otherwise we'll just say return total. 280 should equal 230. If D is greater, okay, so that was exclusive. So D is greater than or equal to. Okay. Doing this wise. Hi, yes. More women in tech. I definitely agree with that. Thank you for being here and hanging out. We're doing some algorithms, getting ourselves situated with some Python here. So doing this time complexity. Let's see. It's not really O of n operations because we don't have. When I think about O of n operations, for every input, we're doing the same amount of work, and we're not really doing that here. I am almost wary to say that it is constant, but it's definitely not linear because we don't need it for every input. We're not doing a certain amount of output to it, so I'm gonna go with constant. And space wise, I'm gonna go ahead and say constant as well. So time will be constant for every for num that receive for D. And then space wise, it will be all that we're returning back is just total. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it is constant as well for the total. And when I look at the code that I wrote, is there any way that I can clean it up and do it better with it? I think this line here is unnecessary because in my head, I think that we need to go ahead and initialize a variable, but I think we can go ahead and do this. Yes, it still works. Okay, so we don't need to keep that total equals 0. We can just go ahead and initialize that variable total and set it to d times 40. That's a great question. So I was asked, what's your motivation behind doing this? Are you a software engineer or intending to become one? That's a great question. Okay, so the way I perceive, well, there's a lot of things that I definitely want to be involved with software engineering. In my mind, although I guess you could say I am intending to become one, but in my mind, I already am one because the way that I'm working on projects, the way that I'm working on algorithms, I'm learning about client-server model. I'm learning more about how the internet works essentially, and building systems and projects that work on the internet. I feel like I'm already a software engineer, except just, yeah. But yeah, my motivation definitely behind it is one, I love technology. Two, I love being able to make things that simplify things, automate things for people. Yeah, a little background about me is I work in the finance. I'm an analyst. So I already try to automate and work with data, with Excel and all that stuff already. And I wanted, and for me, I feel like at the end of the day, only C-suite levels see like your financial impact and the data, but it doesn't really impact people on a bigger scale. So I love being able to do this because you can go to a website and impact a ton of people. You not only just like by having them like click a button, being able to retrieve data, but being able to help connect the client to the server. All that stuff is just kind of interesting to learn about and it's fun. So how about you, Jedder JP? I'd love to know what your motivation as well is. So I'd love to know more about you. Let's see. With the code that I wrote, I'm trying to think, is there a better way I can write this to be more clean? I almost feel like I can write a conditional. Could I write a conditional? Like a ternary? I'm almost thinking that I definitely need to go ahead and write a ternary. But we'll see. The thing with ternary in Python that I noticed that doesn't exist in Java, that does exist in JavaScript, is that you can say the ternary, if the condition is true, you can return this, else add another condition. But with Python, I didn't see that ternary option with that ternary option with what Python has. So I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to find out if it's good. I love being able to read other code when I go ahead and press it. Otherwise, yes, I am very content with this at the moment. So let's go ahead and submit. Okay. So result equals d times 40, which is what we did. And if d is greater than 7, the result is minus 50, else if d is greater. But one thing that I did is... Oh, I see. Oh, what kind of languages are you doing right now? Yeah, my languages that I am well versed in is JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, as you can see, for LeetCode purposes, or algorithm purposes. But then, yeah, I've been finding it very helpful, and maybe I'll do a little bit of projects in Python as well. Yes. So how about you? What kind of programming languages are you well versed in? like, oh, return d times 40 minus d minus 2 greater than 2 times 20. Interesting. I like this because the one thing I like about this is that they did d is greater or equal to 7. And I like that because because in my mind you want to start from 3, 4, 5, 6 until 7. But if you do 7, it'll capture everything else. If you are d is greater than or equal to 3, then you'll capture that. I like that. Oh, I could definitely always do that. Yeah, I love being able to read other people's code because I'm trying to think about ways to make my code look cleaner, understand Python syntax better, and also just trying to see how other people are able to solve. Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. Are you building any with Python? Have you been building any AI, ML projects or anything like that? I've been thinking about it because I was like, that's kind of interesting. Well, I definitely want to work with an AI project as well. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so this one's kind of, I love how it's broken out like this, and this is very clean because it's saying that, hey, if you only deserve a discount if you are greater than 6 days and you are greater than 2 days. Otherwise, just give me the full amount. I like how clean this code is written. Here's another thing to pick up as well. Now, yeah, how to write better, clean code and make it more readable. So, yeah, I like that. It's pretty cool. Excalibur. Excalidraw. Let's see. That was an old one. Okay. Yeah, so one thing I've been learning lately is creating better system designs. As I'm creating projects and as I'm creating projects, I want to make sure I create good projects with the thought in the thoughts and the careful intentions of being able to scale, and being able to make sure I can balance the requests from the clients to the servers. So that's one thing I've been picking up lately is just trying to learn the system designs. And so one thing I've learned recently is called the client server model. Does it let you write? No? Okay. Sorry, this is a little new to me, so but bear with me there. I think I can. Client server model. Oh, let me make that bigger. Client server model. So essentially client server model is like anything you. So this is our client. Oh, okay, doesn't want to talk. Okay. Client. Oh, nope. It's not typing. Oh no. Okay, but we'll do one here. Okay. Okay. Nope, it doesn't want to let go. Oh no. Let go. Oh no. Oh, I see. Do you have your project available? I'd love to check it out afterward if you're okay with that too, Jet or JP. I'm like into. I want to learn a little bit more about compilers and OS as well. So that's pretty cool. That is nifty. Okay. And then we'll have another one here. So we have our client, and then we have essentially what you call it, a server. So it's like your typical, if you're familiar, make sure everything is in line right here. This is, let me write it out, a request. So when you think about, because when I create projects, I'm thinking about, okay, what do I want the users So when I think about like projects and stuff that I created, when I deploy it onto a website, such say for instance Google.com, not saying that I created Google, of course, but for instance Google.com. So this is Google.com. Let me go ahead and write that in. Do I want to use Google? Should I use something different? Yeah, we'll do Google. We'll do Google for the moment, and then Google. I think, don't quote me, but then in this example, we're gonna say that Google is hosted on the Google Cloud server, for example. I think it should be okay. Okay, for this example, we're gonna go ahead and say it like this. So once you go and you type, let me clarify this a little bit more, google.com. Okay, so what happens when a client server model, in a client server model, essentially what it is where you have a client and a server. A client will go ahead and request information from a server, and then a server will say, hey, I have your information. Can I come? Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. I can do it like this. Let me change it to a different color. Okay, and then request. It's gonna send a request, and it's gonna go ahead and return. So our client, maybe I'll make this box red too to align with the situation here. So the client is going to go ahead and request information from the server and say, hey server, I need to get so-and-so data that I put in here. So then the data is going to go ahead and serve that information there. Hi, thank you for coming. Thank you for following. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. So with the client server model, that I learned recently, it's more of your modern day practice if you think about it. So when you type in google.com, it's gonna go ahead and you press enter. What's gonna happen in this, when you press enter here, what's gonna happen is, let me draw another arrow. I'll make this blue. What's gonna happen when you press google.com, what's gonna happen here, let me add another color here, DNS. And what DNS stands for, domain name system. So it's gonna go ahead and go into the domain name system, and it's gonna say, okay, where does google.com exist? And it's gonna go ahead and return. I know there's, in my mind, I was thinking, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much more that goes behind the scenes. Once I got into like software engineering, before I was it must have been because I was very ignorant of everything that's going around. But then one thing I did think about was that the intricacies of even creating Facebook or Google or anything like that, it's very, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Intricate. Yes. It's very intricate because there's so many underlying parts to it, authentication, making sure that you can scale the system for everybody to know. But I've learned so much along the way. So, well, I definitely am learning more as well. So, yeah, this is just a thing to think about, because yes. Because going off of this, what happens is when you click google.com, it's actually going to send a query on the back end. Well, I hate it when people say back end because but I guess you could say back end. But what happens when you do google.com, it's going to go ahead and send a query. And it's going to go to a query called domain name system, saying that in your domain name system, am I able, let me make this blue. Let me create another one over here. IP address. So it's going to look for its specific IP address. it's gonna go ahead and look for a specific IP address, and then it's gonna go ahead and return that specific IP address back to the client, saying that so what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead in google.com. It's going to go ahead and do a quick query like for the domain name system, and then it's going to go ahead and take a look at the IP address, and it's going to go ahead and return it back. And essentially what an IP address is saying, like, hey, your home address is located here. I found your home address in our book of maps, so you do exist, and then you should be able to request information from the server. Because when the server returns information back, it returns it back. Let me go ahead and return. And when it returns port, let me make that orange. Let me find it quickly here. Port numbers. For port numbers for HTTPS. I'm trying to look for a chart. Maybe, I'm not sure if this is the best resource yet. Let me go ahead and take a look. But this so far aligns with what I'm trying to say here, because when you when you look at port numbers, and if you use HTTPS, which is Hypertext Protocol something, but let me look that up. What is HTTPS? Hypertext, okay, transfer protocol secure. So okay, we got that part. Yeah, so when it does that, it's gonna go, when the server sends back that information, when it sends it back to the client to say, hey, this is your information, it's going to go through a certain port, and certain information goes through that port. So if you're gonna go ahead and send information via HTTPS, it goes through a port number of 4443. And why 443? That's a good question. My answer to that, that I know of right now, is that due to long time ago, that's what it was decided on, has been confirmed. And so that is what happens here, 443. Yeah. So I thought this was kind of interesting to know this client server model. So basically it's what the modern day web is currently doing right now. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to learn and understand that with the client, it's because my understanding before was that the client does talk to the server responds back to return. I like that, response / return. So yeah, so the server goes ahead and responds back to the client with what they were requesting for, but then there is a very specific port that they will have to go through via whatever they use. So yeah, this is what I've learned. So I'm trying to do active recall by being able to go ahead and show and introduce that. So yeah. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Have you guys done much with client server models before? Thank you for coming and hang out. I appreciate you being here. So, yeah. So yeah, this is a little bit client server model. And just to do one more. Do you guys do algorithms as well? been trying to keep up with my let's do some binary. I've never done binary, but well, I know a little bit about binary because they're 8 bits that makes up 1 byte. So that's my knowledge of binary numbers. So feel free to let me know if you know something different. So okay. So we're gonna go ahead and implement a function that adds 2 numbers together and returns their sum in binary. The conversion can be done before or after the addition. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so we're gonna receive 2 numbers. We want to return the sum of the 2 numbers in a string of binary. Okay, so okay, so with binary, okay, so what we'll definitely have to do first, 3, 4, and this is going to be a total of 7 in decimal, and 7 binary number Python. Okay. You can convert between a string representation of the binary using bin and int. Okay, so bin looks like it will convert bin function Python. Converts an integer number to its binary string. I see. Okay, so based off what we just googled here, so this one, so 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 in decimal binary should be OB1111. Binary number, it should actually be 111. So this one should be 111. You know what too? We can definitely... Did you know that you can modify the Code Wars test? I found that out the other day. So we're gonna go ahead and insert another test. So 3 plus 4, 7 here, it should be 111. And then so to do this, with Python, you can go ahead and say, we're gonna go ahead and add the A plus B together to get this decimal sum, and then but apply the bin function on the decimal sum, and then return the number. Return the number converted from bin. So you can say sum, or I wouldn't say sum because sum is actually a function in Python, so I'll call it total. A plus B. Some things that I do think about here is that will A and B be a negative number? They're always going to be whole numbers. The way that I'm just gonna make another assumption, the fact that it doesn't state any constraints here like that they're gonna be positive. From the looks of the test cases, it looks like they're all gonna be positive numbers and whole numbers. So we're gonna make those assumptions, and then we're gonna say that we return the bin of the total. So bin is actually not the function, the right function to go ahead and use. 7 binary. So bin, because the thing that I know about this, so it seems like bin here. No worry. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you for sharing. Let me check it out. Bin was created with an emphasis on developer. It's meant for developers to prototype. I really like your README. because I love how I'm able to gain so much knowledge about the Bing programming language. Like, I mean, I, I really like that you do that, because I'm learning so much already. Like, what's the types? Supports via. I really like this because I understand what this is. Because this is basically saying it's a for loop for each number up to 15. Go ahead and add what I to it. Go ahead and keep adding I to it. Very readable. I like that. That's pretty cool. May I ask if this is are you hoping? Hey, it's doing great. Yeah, I'm able to pick up right away and learn what's going on. And I was just kind of curious. Will this become like a new programming language? Will this become like the new Python? Maybe, probably. That'd be kind of cool. I've always thought about doing it. Creating a new language. I was like, is it easy? Is it hard? But I'm not sure. Yeah, no, your repo is really good. Binary function. So it's not that. I'm gonna go ahead and exit that one. Okay, let's see. The binary number returned should be a string. How to get a binary? How to get binary number, binary of a number. Built-in bin. The OB pref. Oh! Okay, I see. It's just you don't want the OB prefix. Oh, I see. Okay, where is it? Let me go ahead and run these test cases again. Oh, okay. So it is the correct number, but the only thing that is, we need everything after the OB. So what we can do is slice it out. And I wonder, can I slice it out like this? Basically saying I want everything after 1 0 1 2 0 1. Everything after the first index. Oh wait, this one. No, oh okay, cause okay. Okay, because what I'm trying to say here is, so I'm going to go ahead and use the slicing method. And here in the slicing method, oh, that's so cool, by the way. May I ask if it's just you that created this, or is there a group of you? Because I think that's pretty cool that you created this programming language. And if I'm gonna slice takes a start, a stop, and a step. And if I want to start at 2, and I want to go all the way until the end. Did it! It's a celebratory moment. We can do it like this. Let me think about time and space complexity. Time and space wise. And feel free to chime in, let me know what your thoughts are. If we're gonna go ahead, to bin number, to use the bin function, takes an integer as an argument. I'm trying to think, is it doing any O of n operation under the hood? Although we're using bin function, it looks like it could be an easy O1 operation, but I am not sure. Oh my goodness, mad props. Have you talked about it? Are you talking about it on LinkedIn? Are you talking about it on X or anywhere? This is something you should talk about. I think it's pretty cool that you're doing this. Like, my mind is blown because I definitely always want. I have thought of creating like a new programming language, and yes, you do have to think about the syntax, the parser, the interpreter, and everything, all of that combined together. Are you talking about it anywhere? I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool that you're doing that. That's pretty cool to me. Let me know. I definitely want to come and check it out. If you're talking at LinkedIn, X, yes, X. I almost want to call it Twitter, but Twitter was its own name. X, Blue Sky. Are you talking about it anywhere? I think that's kind of cool. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with O of n because I think that the bin function under the hood is definitely doing O of n operation. So we're gonna say question mark. I'll come back to that. I'll definitely take a little deeper look at the bin function. But slicing wise, but I am slicing too. So slicing should be O of n for sure. But let me take a look at the bin function. Space wise, since we are creating memory in space with total, but it's not O of n, I'm gonna say it's O of 1 because we're only always dealing with two numbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this. So since we're only dealing with two numbers, got it added to the GitHub repo. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and attempt. Ah, I see. Okay. I could have simplified it by saying A plus B instead. And then slicing it. Oh, I see. You say you're gonna turn everything into a string. And you slice from 0 to B and you're formatted. Format function. Oh, okay, so format function will just essentially turn it into a string. Because format and f strings, they kind of remind me of almost the same thing as well. I see. Pretty cool. Alright, I hope you guys learned a little bit of client server model. I hope you guys had some fun doing some algorithms. Yeah, so I'll be back. So we'll definitely hang out again soon. JetterJP, tell me all about where to find you because I need to figure out where you are if you're sharing this because I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah, I definitely want to learn more. Oh, here's what I definitely understand what you're saying, but I feel like now is better. I feel like you should definitely talk about it now. I understand you definitely want to make it robust, but I feel like what you have now is amazing. It's great stuff, JetterJP. Like, I feel like you should definitely talk about it. Big accomplishments because you've come so far from like figuring out the syntax and making sure that it works with interpreter, compilers, and all that stuff. I think you should definitely talk about it and talk about how you're building it and you're growing it. I think that way, because like, there's something about building in public and talking about it that gets yourself noticed, and I think you should definitely do it. I hope you don't wait, and I hope you talk about it right now, because this is such an exciting thing. I'm excited about it. I think that's pretty cool that you're doing it, and I'm excited for you. So, talk about it. Where are you located? Let me know. I was gonna say DM me, but I don't know if Twitch has DM. But where are you located? I like to follow up with you and see what you're making, what you're creating. Maybe I can follow your username, but Or I can follow you here too. Yes. But oh my goodness, talk all about it. I'm excited for you. I think this is pretty cool that you did this. I want to know more. I want to see more. I want to know what your next updates are. Talk all about it. Oh no. Okay, I'll follow up with you. But talk all about it. So, hope you guys have the great rest of your Sunday night. So, yes, we will talk soon, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. There are so many there are a lot more times to come. So yeah, I'll be back later this week. So let's hang out. Let's see. Oh no. Mouse or a trackpad? I have a trackpad right now, though I don't have a mouse, Emperor. So, but I like both for different reasons. I like a mouse. You know what kind of mouse? Let me see if I can figure that out. Ergonomic mouse. I think these things. Hi, thank you for following. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Deader JP. Thank you for following. I really appreciate you. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Uh, yeah, let me know. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my goodness, you need to talk all about it right now. You need to talk all about it. Okay, so, oops. Okay, we just connected. So I'm looking forward to go ahead and seeing more of it, Jedder JP. So talk all about it. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Yes, let me know. Okay, so we'll definitely. Oh, I see. No, this is. Is this your system design for it? Emperor, this is nifty. Okay, so so it seems like there's a difference between the colors. Orange stands for something and blue stands for something. That's what I'm definitely understanding. Let me know. So yeah, it seems like orange stands for something, blue stands for something. And I really like this. Okay, just to make sure there's nothing else more. I think this is so nifty. I love that. An app for building apps? No, I love that. Because sometimes you do need an app to help you build an app or understand what goes all into an app. So I love that. No, I love that. Let's take a look. I think this is pretty cool. Okay, so essentially you have your app, a person will log in, you have your user overlay, label tip, analytics, a login and a login count, user most logged in. Ah, I see. Thank you for describing that. Okay, so orange is for blue, or sorry, orange is for the data and blue is for visuals. And I was just kind of curious to know, when I think about a website, I think about a user, and I think also another thing that I do think about is like admins as well. Will you ever consider having admins in there? Because I think it's good to distinguish like a user versus an admin. An admin can go in and kind of control or, uh, yeah. Because I was curious if you're thinking about adding like an admin an admin into it and seeing like, because you can give admin role to multiple parties, and which admin logs in the most. That could be a potential idea if you want to, of course, to add an admin. So when the user logs in, they see the users, then you see your profile, name, email, user ID. Typically, yeah, that's what it's included: name, the email, the user ID, the profile picture, any description that they want to add. It depends on that specific app that you're building for. But I love how you have the main components. Funny way to say components, but yeah, the main criteria for it. So logins, you're gonna have the header rows in the login. You're gonna have a date, time, and the IP address. Yeah, no, those are good stuff. So you're gonna go to analytics. You see the title. You can close. Oh, I see. No, thank you for explaining that. Okay, so it only creates front-end apps. So nothing about admin and server stuff. Okay. No, that's good to know. That is good to know. Front-end apps only. Oh, so this would be like just for single page applications only, like for spa pages. Is this what you're thinking? Because when I think about spa pages, I think about like it just being like the front end. Or yeah, just the visuals. So yeah, so analytics, you can see the analytics. Top bar, you can see your title, you can close on it. Oh, I see, I kind of like that. The top bar, so the top bar, it sounds, okay, so it's for spas. Okay, I get it, yes. Okay. Top bar, you can add the title, update movement, you can save, new analytic. Go to the analytics board, and within the board, you'll have a container, an analytic, the resize overlay, the top bar. We'll have title, update menu, containers. How long did it take you to make this, by the way? Because this is pretty nifty stuff, by the way. Container, logins, login count, users most login, top bar, table, title, login row. You're gonna have the profile pic, movement overlay, analytic menu, label tip. You can click. Oh my goodness. Is this Figma? Because this looks so different from Figma. I didn't know you could do this because what I'm used to is like Figma. I didn't know you could do this. Is this Figma? Oh my goodness, 7 months. This is great stuff for 7 months. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I reversed it. But you take a tab, function ID. I see. That's so cool. Okay, so this one's gonna have a close menu. You can delete. So options. This is what the markup looks like of what it's gonna look. Oh, I see. May I ask? Okay, so is this one on? So is this Nojabo? Is that what it's on? Because that's pretty cool that you can have like the actual code with like because the way I see it, because when I think about like a database, or when I think about creating databases, I always think about like the relationships and stuff like this. So I think that's pretty cool that you're doing it like that. So yeah. Yeah, I love that you add the code because like I can visually see it a lot more with like how the styling is and what's gonna happen with the functions. This is great stuff. I hope you're talking all about it. I hope you're sharing it all over on Facebook or LinkedIn, X, and Blue Sky. This is great stuff that you are doing and just did. So I think it's pretty cool, and I didn't know this stuff kind of existed. So this is pretty cool. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. I've learned so much. Yeah, I hope you talk all about it. But yeah, I have to. Yeah, it's getting late for me, so, but Yeah, I'm gonna have to head out soon, but thank you for sharing it with me. I appreciate it. Alright, so we're gonna get ready and we're gonna go hang out with other people. So thank you for coming hang out with me. I appreciate you guys. Let's definitely do more. Yeah, let's definitely do more in the upcoming days. Thank you for hanging out with me.
Because to me...
Raided.
Like,
Raid.
oh, thank
Welcome,
you,
Mayvang Swim 3 Raiders.
My sweet... My